Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to be back here with you on a Wednesday. We've been having some beautiful weather. Driving around here locally in Wisconsin, we've got some plants starting to pop up in the field. So things are green. It's looking good. As you know, every Wednesday I always like to do a little bit of midweek mindset, and I was listening to a podcast this week, and a guy had talked about, I believe it's called the Croak app. I don't actually have it, but anyways, the point was is that it sends him a reminder, more of a philosophical way, that at some point he is going to die, and he has this set to remind him of that 5 times per day. And I thought that was very interesting. I'm certainly not afraid of dying. Maybe some of you are, maybe you're not. I'm a Christian, and just it's just logic that we are all going to die. So it isn't the death that is scaring me. But what I thought was interesting is that it reminds him to live, to be in the present, to not take things so serious at times. And as Marcus Aurelius once said, it is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. And so I'll let that be your thought this week. Unfortunately, it's a little morbid, but at some point we are all going to die. So don't forget to get out there and live. Jumping over to the grain markets here this morning, a little bit of red on the screen. July corn down a penny and a half. Beans are down 4 3/4. Chicago's down 8. July KC down 10. Minneapolis down 6 3/4. It is known here at this point that the U.S. is actually going to be importing, or is importing, some EU wheat, again, due to economics and price competitiveness. Equities are lower. Crude and gas is higher. Main headline out here on the outside markets, everybody's watching what's going on with that debt ceiling. Janet Yellen has been in the headlines saying that as soon as June 1, the U.S. could start to have financial repercussions if this debt ceiling isn't resolved. Here we go. Wednesday global price update on corn. Brazil, South America, really the leader here, but I would say the U.S. is starting to get a little bit more competitive, maybe as we go into the further, start to move into these harvest months. Soybeans, no surprise here. Again, just no love for the U.S. I mean, Brazil is the cheapest until, again, you start to seasonally switch over into the very early stages of U.S. harvest, if you could even call it that. Wheat continues to be the game for Russia and the Ukraine. Flipping over to weather, we're in a weather market now. Volatility is alive and well. This is your 7-day cumulative precip map. As you can see, that white area, just really not much for rain over the 7 days in here throughout a majority of the Corn Belt. And so, to the west, you've got some rain. I think that's kind of keeping maybe a little bit of a lid from this thing running away, especially as these drought areas get some much needed precipitation. But on the other hand, so much of the growing area right now is looking at some near-term dryness. So, we'll see what happens, but I think we've got some really good near-term support in here on these markets. So going ahead, what should you do? Just have your price targets above the market. If you're still holding old crop, we'd encourage you to look at an option strategy. And what the real intention of that is just to get you in a fixed risk position and put that marketing year on autopilot. At this point, it can be very tough to manage multiple crop years, and the values out there are good, and they may get better. And so we need to have our attention focused in one area. As always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, liking our video, subscribing. Leave us a comment if you have any questions, if there's something you'd like to see out there. And don't forget, today and the rest of the week, make sure to go out and live. Thanks again.